Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here, and welcome back to another Thursday stream where, yes, we're finally back. So, apologies for no streams over Christmas. It wasn't intentional. The first couple, I was quite ill, so I had to take it off. Literally lost my voice completely. And then let's get back into it over Christmas. And then there's a massive problem with with downloading the app onto PC. So not only could I not get my actual account onto my PC, so I'm having to play it on my phone, which is I hate nowadays. It's obviously when you get used to something and try something else, it's so hard. I mean, I learned obviously on my phone, on my tablet, and learned that when I got the PC, I was like, this is impossible. How do people play on a PC? And now obviously I've got used to that, and now I'm like, oh my god, how do people play on a screen this small? So I had to put my phone all over Christmas. Could not get it on at all. All the apes on holiday. I was like, right, well, sadly I've had to make a decision that I'm not going to stream until they come back. And then even with the apes coming back, literally tried everything to get the stream back up and running since Tuesday when they came back to work, and literally got it sorted during the Space Ape stream today. So it's literally about 3 hours ago. So I've got a bit of a list of things I wanted to go through over Christmas. I've made some notes, but something I did want to go through was sort of look back at 2022 and some things I want to come in 2023. So because I've not had much prep time to do that, because I weren't sure if I'm going to stream tonight or not, we're going to be doing that next week. So next week we're going to look back at 2022, things that came to the game that were good, things that came to the game that maybe weren't so good or could have been better, and look forward to sort of 2023 and what is going to be coming soon. We've obviously got the giveaway today, so we're going to give away two $25 gift cards to two of my platinum members. So a big thank you to everyone for being a member and supporting the channel. It's really appreciated, and those platinum members are going for a draw today for a $25 gift card. And I did say that once we get above 20 members, I'll be giving away three gift cards, three $25 gift cards. So we're currently at 18 members, so if you are a gold member or basic membership, consider upgrading to platinum. And if you want to in with a shout of a $25 gift card, then consider becoming a platinum member. So yeah. What else? So we're going to be talking about the new 5-star batch as well, and sort of where we're up to that, what we'll be talking about in playtest, and the sort of size of different arguments. We'll talk about a bit about ability 11. We're going to be talking about a bit about Topspin's G1 that got put back today. So we'll talk about why that got put back and why playtesting might change completely the way we do things for this. We're going to be talking about the Warrior rework as well. So I know they've had a recent rework, but they're going to have another rework, I think. And this might tip the balance if it works properly. It's going to be interesting anyway. It's probably the first time that I've seen something for Warriors and gone, that might work. So we'll see. Obviously going to be showing the new combat as well. We're talking about a bit about Star Saber and Drift that were mentioned in today's stream. So we're going to talk a bit about that. I'm looking at Sentius and Laser Optimus. I mean, Yannis said something in the stream that he thinks Sentius is as strong as 5-star Laser Optimus. I don't think so. I don't think so by any means. So we're going to have a bit of a test today and see if he's right. Let's see if Sentius is as strong as 5-star Laser Optimus. Because my question was, why is Blur in the vote for 5-star? And I think Blur is really powerful. And I'm fine with him being in the vote. I don't see the point myself. Again, we'll talk about that later on. But, a powerful 4-star like that, if that's in the 5-star decision, the vote, then fine. But, why is Sentius and Saber not there? I don't really get that. I don't really understand it. So again, we're going to be looking at that. We're talking a look about a new bot that could be in the meta. Had a bit of a buff recently, and it could be interesting. It could be interesting. I'm considering putting him in my team. So we will have to wait and see. And then we're going to talk a bit about how to get Alloy. Because a lot of people are struggling upgrading their walls and getting alloy for defenses. I'm going to talk a bit about that. We've covered it in the past, but with HQ18 coming, it's even more important now with the upgrade to 15 mil for walls. 15 mil for walls. So we're going to talk a bit about how to get alloy very, very quickly. And then, obviously, the giveaway. So that is everything that we're going to be doing in today's stream. So lots of information to go through. But in the meantime, let's have a look who we've got in the chat. So we did start the stream early because we're not streaming over Christmas. I wanted to give everyone a heads up that hey, we are streaming today, so everyone sort of knows that we're back in business and we're sorted and ready to go. So, a big shout out, obviously, again, to all my platinum members. So, big shout out to Chris Lewis, Penny Lancaster, Freezers Max, Kill Cannon, Grind Time, who are all in the chat quite early. Big thank you to you guys. Ricky Lau as well, Lord Avix, Valhalla Stream, Richard Trender, Chris Harmon, another of our platinum members. Thanks for being a member, buddy. We got Alpha Tryon, Andy Swell, another of our platinum members. A lot of platinum members in today. Bartosh, Carnage, MacIte, Stan Tarvin, Simon Hayes, another of our platinum members as well. We've got MD Prime, Gerrit is in the chat. Hey, buddy. Hellraiser, Esclahosse, Chip Cox. Who else have we got? Tervatano as well. We've got Brian Miller, Silverboat94, thanks for joining in, buddy. And Cameron Naylor, and I think that is everyone in the chat. If I missed anyone, apologies, but I think that is everyone. Okay, well, as usual, let's go into the newsletter. Let's see what's happened in this week's event and some of the news coming from the game. So, Bra Weep Nana Weep Ninnybong. Hammer to Fall is this week's event, which sort of ties in with the new combats. So, weekend event is the Lions Totalizer, 1.5 mil, 150 prestige, up to 300 Hammer to Fall chips. Now, you think 300 would give you a really good chance at the 4-star, but maybe not so much. We've talked about it in the past about chance events. Not a big fan of them, not because it's a chance event, but because the chance is actually really, really low. I think I worked it out as something like 0.3% chance of getting the 4-star, which is obviously not great. That might have changed. I've not done maths on the new setup, but it's a really, really low chance. 300 Hammer to Fall chips does not mean it's like 300 character crystals. You get the same sort of chance because you haven't. But anyway, we have got a chance, obviously, to get the new combats, Bashbreaker and Gabu. There's obviously 5-star combat shards in there as well, which is pretty cool. 600,000 combat spark, which everyone has been begging for and crying out for. So that'd be it's a good, event prize. Up to 30 million alloy and energon. Again, everyone wants that sort of alloy and energon. That is going straight into my walls, straight away. 150 building power core chips. Not bad. 150 battle tactics, MK3 chests, so a lot of boosts, and 150 premium combat chip, which is pretty decent. That's not bad. That's plenty more combat spark and shards as well. So all in all, not a bad event. Pretty decent. Some good chance to get some good 5-star shards. So you see there that in the crystals you've got 25% to get a 4, 3 or 2-star combat, and you've got a 75% at getting 5-star combat shards. So 3/4 is 225 times 5. So you talk about 1,000 5-star combat shards in this event. So pretty good. Not a bad event at all. It's the normal battle points per zone as usual, and again we're going to be going through Bashbreaker and Gabu shortly later. But thanks for Tex for doing all the visual aids. And we're up to Cyber Pass Season 11. Very cool skins. I do like these skins. Not sure if I'm going to put it on Blaster or not. I like Blaster's colours because I can find it quite quick on the battlefield. So for me, it's more of a visual aid whether that looks good or not still. But we'll have to wait and see. But the usual sort of stuff. And again, they've sort of split the 5-star shards, so it's 5-star shards and combat shards. So they've split up again, which I kind of agree. Rather than alternating, it's good that they got the similar thing every sort of pass. So yeah, still great value for $10, but yeah, the best value in the game, other than the starter bundle. So yeah, definitely worth getting. Then go and check out all your content creators. I know a few are struggling to get on, like I said, because of the update, but I found a way which I've passed to Daisy. So hopefully she will sort of pass it on to guys so they can get streaming again. Good to go on some cool pictures. Who is that? Not sure who that is. And then the Saga schedule. So we are up to week 5. I think it is week 5. Yeah, week 5 of this. Well, season 11, week 5 of the Saga. So they have said that there's the new bots sort of coming out. End of the event is going to be an endurance event. So obviously 2 parts of the new combiners. So we already knew the new combiners were going to be what they are, which is God, Neptune, and Ruination. It's pretty much guaranteed. So yeah, excited to see what they do. We should be getting them in testing maybe tomorrow, hopefully on Monday. So excited to see what they will do. And then bug fixes and improvements. So Victorian and Menasor, the area damage dealt after triggering Noble Sacrifice is dealt 1.3 seconds earlier. Does Noble Sacrifice do any damage really? It doesn't do enough. Because it's supposed to be base wide. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So I'm not too sure about that. I didn't even know it was going too slow. I don't even know. I think Victoria and Menasor are the worst combiners in the game right now, so they need a lot more than their ability damage doing 1.3 seconds earlier if they're gonna improve them. So yeah. Skids and Knockout. The ability was dealing more damage than specified in the tooltip. They reduced damage to match the tooltip. It was actually doing like pretty much double the damage. So that's been reduced a lot. So keep that in mind, guys. That Skids is ability has been reduced, and I've seen some guys saying like, oh well, I'm gonna get a spark refunded. They do. I don't think you'll get it because he's been doing more than what he should, and now he's doing what he should. So if anything, you've took advantage of that and got more benefit out of him than you should have. So I don't think they're gonna offer spark refunds. It's not like they've fixed him or anything like that. He's been doing more. So if anything, you've got better value out of him. Wars have been easier. Leveling in's been easier. So I'm not too sure they'll offer spark refunds, but just keep in mind that if you're used to using him on bases and him doing X, you're going to do less. But they have fixed ability 11 to display the intended 3 times to world. There was a bit of a discussion whether it was 2 times or 3 times, and even I'm not still too sure it should be 2 or 3. I can't remember now, but they put 3, so I presume 3. I'm sure some people would have tell me what it is in the game, but yeah, I don't have skins at 5-star yet. Mine's not level with 4-star, so who knows? 3 times, 2 times, whatever it's supposed to be doing, it's supposed to be doing it. It's doing it. Trip Up and Roller Force, we have fixed their speed increase effect. I've not tried this yet. I'm hoping it is fixed. It's like the 4th time they tried fixing it. And if you watch my stream with Dale, my interview, I actually said to him, my frustration is that surely there's some quality assurance, quality control in terms of that when they do a fix like this. Sure, there's someone whoever does that fix goes into the live server and tests it. Sure, they have a live server account where they can check these things. But it seems to me that they go on there and they make the changes. They go change. Yeah. Okay, it's fixed. Cool. And then push it. And we know so many things that on their end where they've changed it and it's not come to our end, or it's not done the correct effect it should for whatever reason. And they need to check that. That's my problem. So they say now that it's been fixed, but even I'm not sure. So I'll have a look, guys. But I'm hoping that it is. Fingers crossed. Trip Up was amazing, absolutely amazing in testing, and obviously it's been awful since release because he's not done what he's supposed to be doing. So hopefully that's been fixed. Yeah. And then Optimus, Maximus, and Bruticus' shock fire missiles can no longer stun Titans. I didn't know they were, but there you go. So yeah, obviously can't be having that. So yeah. And then obviously, like I said, they've already streamed already today. So yeah, go and check that stream. I will be covering a bit of it when we chat. So yeah, cool. Cool. So I hope you like the music. I sort of changed it a bit to sort of use the G1 music. I think last time I did this, it caused me to get a strike for copyright material because it's actually the G1 music. But I sent a thing off saying, well, actually, It's in-game music, so I can't use it because it's part of the game. And to be fair, YouTube cancelled the strike because obviously it's in the game, so I can't. They can't get me done for something that's in a game that I'm showing. But then I think it happened twice actually, and at that point I was like, I can't bother doing this every single time. Every single time I do a stream or a video and this music's on, I'm gonna get a strike against me, and eventually that sort of like stops your views and things like that, starts being monetized. So that's why I sort of stopped it back then. But we'll wait and see. I thought I'd try it again and see if anything's changed. But I might have to write to YouTube and just say, listen, I keep getting these strikes for in-game music. But yeah. But yeah, so the new 5-star batch has been announced. In fact, we'll have a quick look at it if we can. Because it's down, I'm just going to go off, but hey. So, new 5-star batch was announced, and obviously, the big surprise with no skids in there. That was a bit of a surprise. And again, we talked about that in my interview with Dale, which you can go and check out. But obviously, we've got Twin Twist and Corrigan. I can never say it. Twin Twist and Corrigan. We've got Slingshot and Acid Storm. So there is Slingshot, and Acid Storm. We've got Ironhide and Bludgeon. Who else have we got? We've got Hound and Dragstrip. And who's the other one? And the other one, obviously Blur and Runabout. So, obviously been talking a lot about this in playtest. And I think the general consensus is that Blur is fine as he is. But obviously we're trying to work out some sort of counter. And we're talking about buffing Flare Mines. We're talking about them catching Blur, whether we need a range increase. I'm not too sure that's going to happen, but there's a lot of things flying around whether the MSM needs a range increase or whether the Flare Mines, which look to be getting buffed, but by how much. That's a big discussion at the minute. We've got two sides of the argument of people that say Blur is too powerful. Then the other side of the argument, people are saying he's not that powerful, but personally I'm in the camp of that he is. He is too powerful because you can't defend against him. If you put him to the back of the launch pad, you can zip as much as you want without him getting caught by any counter at all. Now, if you use Goldfire, he'll get caught in it. Rhinox sometimes. Elita, pretty much most of the time get caught. But Blur just can't, basically. So that's my argument, is that, you know, it's almost impossible to defend against Blur, and there should be a way to defend against him. Now, people saying, oh, you're going to kill Sack. I don't think we are, because even if it catches people on the launch pad, you can still drop him centrally. And let's be honest, if you're using Flare Mines, it means you only got 2 MSM, so you can use other bots that depend on the MSM. So you could maybe use Goldfire and bring him back to be more useful. You know, there are other options. I don't want to kill Blur, but I also want to bring, by negating him slightly, will hopefully bring other sack bots back into the meta again. So hopefully Goldfire will be used more. You know, that is always the plan for me. I want it to balance where, I've always said that I want to be able to look at a base. I want to be able to look at it and go, right, I cannot use Blur on this base. Not a chance. No matter how I want to do it, I can't use Blur. It's impossible. It's going to fail. What other attack can I do? And people are going like, yeah, well, then everyone's going to walk. No, I want the same for walk, believe it or not. I want to be able to look at a base and go, I cannot walk this base. It's almost impossible. But maybe I can sack it instead. Maybe I can rush and smash. Maybe I can do something. Maybe I can backdoor it. And it opens it up to other sort of strategies. And that's always been my sort of way of thinking, is to force people into using different techniques. I'm tired of seeing people using the same 8 bots every single time against any base, and I do it. I'm not going to lie to you. 1 or 2 bots get switched in and out depending, but it's the same 8 bots no matter what the base is, the same strategy. I think that just things need to change in that sense, and more strategy in the game. And generally it's using Jetfire, take out 1 or 2 build bots, take out the shield gen, then drop my team, use Sea Spray a couple of times, use Sitz Gun, take out a big section, pop an outpost with Rook, pop another one with Blaster, and then just walk the base, healing my bots, and then pop the Combiner, maybe another outpost bot, drop my Combiner, do some damage, kill the outpost bots and the combiner, and then walk the rest. And that is what I do to every single base, regardless of setup. I've seen people trying to move their outposts out of range. I've seen people trying to do front-loaded bases, and no matter what you do, the same strategy always works. And I don't think that's right. That no matter how you set your base up, whether it's there's three main bases. There's pretty much a front-loaded base. There's pretty much a time trap, and then there's an elongated base. So time traps tend to find that the HQ's at the top with some defenses and a lot of defenses at the front. So a bit like front loaded, but it's a definitive line between the bottom and top. Then you've got obviously a front loaded where the HQ's at the front, all defense at the front, all the resource buildings at the back. So the idea is there's a lot of attack going on right from the launch pad. Then you've got elongated bases, which tend to be around pathing and trying to split your bots up, and they tend to be quite centralized. You can obviously have a bit mismatch of the two, where you can have sort of time traps with only defenses, and you can have elongated bases with all resources at the back. But generally, that's only the three defense strategies setups you can do, and that's where it lies really, where the problems lie. And yeah, I want to be able to use different strategies. That's the idea. But anyway, so yeah, the idea is that Blur doesn't need much of an upgrade. The big talking point around Hound is two things. Is the reflection to resource buildings. It pretty much killed him. So we can't have that. So the argument or the discussion is, do we remove damage reflection from the Titan perks? I'm not too sure about that. I do like damage reflection from resource buildings. I think it needs to be more. But in that sense, Hound needs to have some sort of shield or can't get hurt by resource buildings in some way or something. So it needs something around that. And then also, I sort of put that, you should be able to two-shot most defenses. And there's a bit of backlash from that saying he shouldn't be able to. But, the cost for Hound is 6 plus 2, is it? 6 plus 2. So, that's 14 ability points. And then even when you do hit X target, you might say, oh yeah, well, you could take out 5 targets. It's quite random in where the hollows go. So, there's a discussion around making the hollows go to set targets or in an area, or maybe change the way Hound works exactly. He's got, and I said that, he's got amazing range. And the fact he can take out resource buildings, multiple resource buildings, is a huge pulling factor. But if you take resource buildings out of that, then you've got good range, and that's it. And there's a lot more bots that have got good range that do a lot better jobs. So he needs some sort of buff. And again, there's some people that are arguing that, well, if people voted for him, then he should be good as he is, surely. And I said, yeah, but how many votes have we had in the poll from people? And they've changed the bot and improved it. We've seen that many, many times from the viewers' votes. That they voted for something and we've still improved it, so that doesn't mean anything. So we're looking to improve Hound, hopefully. We all agree that Twin Twist is amazing, but there's a bit of discussion on whether he's doing a bit too much damage than what he should be doing. I'm not too sure. That's for the apes to maybe look into. I hope not. I like him as he is. He is really powerful, but I hope that's like the sort of benchmark we should be setting ourselves really for new bots. But we'll wait and see. Then we've got Slingshot. Huge fan of Slingshot. A bit of discussion recently about what sort of damage you should be doing and whether the 5-star should increase the duration of the anti-heal and the acid instead, rather than a huge increase in damage. Whether we should do more damage in Jetfire, which will sort of alienate Jetfire, because it'll be doing the same damage as Jetfire roughly, but having anti-healing in an area and for cheap ability points. So there's a big discussion around that, but he's looking good. And it's Ironhide. So along with this, the apes sort of putting forward that warriors still aren't working as they should. Not as they should. They're not working in the meta. They're not being utilised. This is why I've asked many times that they should display usage rates. On how many people are using Xbot in Prime League. And so when people go, I remember I've had discussions before where it was Sludge actually, and people going like, yeah, no one uses Sludge. And I was like, well, I actually know a few people do use Sludge. And then people going, nah, no one uses Sludge. Well, is it just that my alliance is using Sludge? Are people using Sludge in top wars? How many % of people in Prime League are using Sludge? How many people are using Gnaw? How many people are using Blaster? You know, what is one of the most used bots in Prime League? And then we can sort of publish those results and say to people, listen, these are the meta bots because this is what people are using. Look at these top 10 bots. These are the bots you want to aim for. And then seeing that when things change in the game, when new defenses come out and things change and the meta changes, does that change on what bots people are using? I think it will. You know, for combats, for bots, and I think that'd be pretty useful to people to see what people are actually using. So that's what I've asked for the apes to do, is to publish usage rates for certain war leagues. So that's something I've been fighting for this year and hoping that they can. But obviously these things take a long time. I don't know how to hand those sort of stats are. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we're looking at warrior rework. So because the FFD negates shielding, and because the anti-stun cores negate Ironhide's ability, Ironhide sort of gets nullified. There's a lot of bots that sort of do really like that depend on stun and depend on shielding. So something that they come up with is a health increase. So a bit like Optimus Primal, where when you use his ability, he gets an increase in health. Now, currently, it's not really working. I could probably show you if it was working, but I don't think it's working. Someone showed in the test server it working. I tried, didn't work. Removed all the FFD, removed everything. I just can't seem to work out where this huge increase is coming from. But I'm just going to say it was a huge increase. Ironhide's base stats for health, with this health increase, made him pretty much invulnerable. It was crazy. As in, like, you know, thinking what it will do. I think the idea was to give him a 75% health boost. And I think his base stats were around 45k. So he'll have 45k health. And he'll get a 30k health boost for like 15 seconds when he uses his ability. And that to me was like, wow. Absolutely amazing. His ability still needs some work. It does stun in an area when there's no anti-stun cores, but it needs damage. It definitely needs more damage. And I said it in the playtest that when you've got Rhinox, who does 500 damage for 9 seconds, so let's call it 4.5k damage in an area when he rushes in with slightly less health but more DPS, then you need to balance that. Obviously, Ironhide will have less DPS and more health, but you need to balance that still with that sort of damage. He needs to do around 4-5k damage in an area. That's what he needs to do if he wants to compete with special. There's too many special bots that have high damage in the game, whether it's Laser Optimus, whether it's Rhinox. And if you want to say that was a warrior, so you can't compare that to special bots, let's compare it to Rook. Well then, Rook even does 6k damage in an area with his hollow. So even Rook does 5-6k damage. So warriors need that sort of damage still, you know, in an area if they want to succeed. And Ironhide for me needs about 5-6k damage, even just to one target, even to a small area. He needs some kind of damage increase along with pipes and all the rest of them. And the playoff is that it's a cheap cost. You know, when you look at pipes and all that, it's a very cheap cost, and that's the difference. But he rushes ahead. But I'm fine with rushing ahead, doing damage in an area, rushing back, doing damage in an area. And people will say that, yeah, that makes sack easier maybe, but the range is not as big, so maybe not as much. But yeah, again, a lot of things up in the air. But Ironhide's looking to get the biggest buff, because right now everyone's sort of saying that Slingshot is fine, Blur is fine, and Twin Twist is fine. So I don't think those three bots will get any changes. I think they'll sort of stay. If anything, Slingshot might get reduced in damage and improved in other ways. We're not too sure yet. More balanced than reduced or increased. But I think the big ones are Ironhide and Hound. They're the two bots looking for a serious increase. With Hound, maybe a tweak. Ironhide, a huge increase. So watch this space. We're probably looking at getting this 5-star batch out in the next week or two, I think. So watch this space, guys. But I'm quite excited for this batch now, because we've got 3 good bots in it. We've got Slingshot, we've got Blur, and we've got Twin Twist, and the 3 different bots though. So we've got one that's a sack bot pretty much, and he is, let's be honest. We've got it's good for leveling as well though, so that's good. We've got Twin Twist, which is really good on defense and a strong bot. Then we've got Scuds. We've got Skids, that's a gunner. And then we've got Slingshot as a a flyer. So some real good difference in bots. We just need a good tank and another good gunner in Hound, hopefully. So yeah, we'll wait and see. A lot of people asking about ability 11 as well. And ability 11, I imagine it's coming in a few weeks' time. Dale said he wants to give the new batch ability 11, but we've already got a lot of those ability 11. I mean, Ironhide's already got ability 11, Skid's already got ability 11, Hound's already got ability 11, so maybe Twin Twist and Slingshot will get ability 11. But we talked a lot in playtest, and this sort of ties into Topspin and why it sort of got pushed back. So we balanced Topspin and thought, that's not bad. There's room for improvement. Then the Ace brought out ability 11 and it was doing crazy damage. And was like, is this really where we want to go with ability 11? This powerful? But then we don't want to do ability 11 and it be really rubbish for the investment. And so I sort of said in playtest that really, when we test these new bots, we should be testing the bot with ability 11, with a G1 core, and go, right, this is where the bot will end up. And when we showcase the bot for these endurance events, say, listen, when you get the G1, when you get this bot and give it ability 11, this is what he'll do. This is how good he'll be. And then you bring the bot out, and then in a couple months' time, you bring ability 11 out, and a couple months' time, you bring the G1 out, say. And you sort of space it out. But you know that what you're getting. From the moment you do that endurance event, you know what you're getting in the long term. But right now, people are getting the bot, and I did it with Skids. I was like, well, I'm not going for Skids. He's not really that good, really. I'm not going to bother. And then the G1 come out. I was like, well, that's pretty good. That's not bad. Then ability 11 come out, which I had a massive, part in. And I was like, right, well, now I'd want this bot now. This bot's actually pretty good now. I can find a really good use for him. But it took that G1 and ability 11 to make him that way. So before that, it was quite a lot lackluster. So on the vice versa, if you balance bots for what they are without ability 11 and G1 and make them up to that standard, then the ability 11 and G1 is going to be pretty trash. Because you can't keep pushing them bots higher and higher. So that's what we're talking about at the minute. We're trying to get it so we get the bot, the G1 core, ability 11, all at once and go, right, this is where the bot is going to end up. And that's why Topspin's G1 sort of been pushed back a bit, because it made him stupidly powerful. I mean, he was one shot in the MDS next to a shield gem pretty much. And you just go MDS, MDS, gone. I think without the combo. So it was crazy powerful. And we sort of said that, what health increase is the MDS going to get when it does? I mean, I presume it will eventually. What kind of HP stats will it have? Is the shield gem getting an increase? I presume it will. Will it just get a HP increase, or will it increase the shield amount? All these sort of questions again around balancing, and it's hard when you've got HU 18 only a third of the way through. We don't even know what new defenses are going to come out, which I presume will eventually. So all these sort of things that they wanted to consider. So there's a lot of things doing in testing that we're sort of considering, but it will come, guys. But hopefully we're just trying to do something that improves. Well, it doesn't make people sort of like, disappointed really, or put people off going for the bots. We want to say to people, this is going to be the bot, this is what it is. If you want to go for it, because this is how good it's going to be from the get-go. There's no like, it might get better, it might not. So yeah. Okay, let's have a look in the chat and see if any questions or any comments or anything. So Stay Puff saying walls are done. Well, we're going to talk a bit about that later on. But yeah, mine are about 7% done. So what's point? Do we really want him as a 5-star? He still has pathing issues and wall hopping. Do you mean Sentius? Yeah. Well, maybe. Cameron Naylor, I think Hoist has to be in the next batch. Yeah, interesting choice. Yeah, I'd be a good 5-star without a doubt. Be interesting on the next 5-star vote anyway, because Blur and Hound are both out of it. So, who would we vote for then? What else? Escalhossi spent more than 100 mil ally had an invention to upgrade all the walls. Next day they dropped the cost. Yeah, that was pretty poor. I agree, but I'd ask for a refund. I really would, but if you can, nothing wrong with asking. Um, yeah, if anything, like Freezes Max has put, if anything, people level skilled and knockouts faster. It's still a good bot. Yeah, agreed, agreed. Um, Stay Puff's put chip up is working. I will take your word for it, brother. Nice one. Um, Calvin reckons Ratchet is the third best healer, Minerva first, and Wheeljack second. I think Ratchet's second, firstly, but there's an argument for both ways. But yeah, as long as it's not FA, it's a good medic. Silverboss put, oh yeah. Do you remember when FA was the best healer in the game? I used him a lot. My favourite healer. Wow, crazy. And then Rung just ruined him. And then the FFD killed him. Also, what Phil's put to me, the fact that the MSMs don't catch blur means that the MSMs are completely broken. I said this in the chat and got some backlash. I said the MSM affect walks more than they do blur. And someone was like, you're crazy. I was like, I'm not, because the amount of times that I've dropped my bots and I want to use Rook, say, to pop an outpost, and then Rook hits one, I'm like, oh my god, right. I need to use Blaster now. I can't use Rook, but what? I pop two outposts in two different positions. Oh, I've got to wait. And you're like, oh god, I'm taking some damage here. And, so, there are times where the MSM do affect walks, and I'm fine with that. Again, I'm fine. But they shouldn't affect walks more than they do sack when that's what they brought out for. Let's be honest. I did actually ask this Fabian, but he didn't say it. I was like, listen, can we just say that the MSM were designed to catch sack, and the Flare Mine buff is there to catch blur? Can we just say that? Because he sort of talked about stealth bots. It's like, you can't be talking about Slash, because Slash ain't overpowered. And he sort of used Slash as an example, but I think he was sort of avoiding getting into a discussion around countering blur, but it's obvious that it is. Cameron Naylor says Flare works. It kind of does, but doesn't. Again, I'm going to sort of showcase this a bit when we show the 5-star and see if it does. But my understanding is, and I could be wrong because I don't use him as much as other people. But my understanding of Blur is that he hits a Flare Mine and becomes the focus of attacks. But then when you use him again, he leaves a hollow behind, which becomes the focus of attacks. And so, when you do that, you leave an image of yourself behind, and the defenses target that hollow. So, you rush ahead, hit a Flare Mine, okay. He becomes a focal point. He rushes again, and is no longer the focal point. They keep hitting the hollow. And you could use him, and he's got enough health to, survive. I mean, he's got 20k health. So it's not like he's going to die anytime soon. So, and then we talked about having Flare Mines along with Glass Gas, which is a good alternative. I like the fact that you use them, and if you do, then it leaves you open to using Goldfire more, maybe. Then you just got to avoid the Glass Gas mines, maybe, with Goldfire, because you're not using MSM. But the point I made was that if you're going to double up these mines, then you can only protect 2 points on the map. Now, you can say, well, yeah, put your outposts all at the top, but then you're really pushing people into a certain base design. And then you could say, well, make a choke point and put all the mines there. And then if you start doing that and force to go up the middle and then to get the sack, then you can just use Cup very easily because all the mines are in one place, so you can avoid them very easily. Or Relita. So, for me, I think we need more mines. I think we should have 6 mines. I think the MSM range needs increasing and the Flare Mine range needs increasing. I really do. And even then, I don't think that'll kill it. I really don't. I think it'll make it a lot harder. But I think it'll make Goldfire more of an option. Because people can use 6 MSM. Yeah, fine, use 6 MSM. But then, Blur, you can use Blur. So if you use 4 MSM with 2 Flare Mines, that's not really going to kill Blur. So what if you use 2 MSM, 2 Flare Mines, 2 Glass Gas? Well, that's fine, but you're going to leave parts of the map open for Goldfire, maybe. All parts for the map to use Blur, maybe. Or maybe to not total effect. Again, there's so many different combinations you can use then. But they've got to be viable options. I want to be able to cover 2/3 of the map with 2 MSM, say. So quite a big range increase. Not 2/3 of the map, but 2/3 of launch pad, let's say. So you've got to go through the middle, say. So I'm forcing you to go through the middle. And you could go, oh, then people are going to put the age in the middle. Well, then take the age out first, drop a gunner first, maybe, and take the age out, and then sack, maybe. Again, it just evolves the way people are going to use strategies in the game. Instead of just mindlessly just dropping in blur, just going bang, 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 bang. Okay, there we go. Or mindlessly dropping gold fire back in the day. It's the same discussion, and people going, gold fire is nothing like blur. It was. It was exactly the same sort of discussion, exactly the same problem. But they brought about out that negates that. That's the problem. So, yeah. Yeah, so the age does catch blur, but obviously you've got to put it in a good place, so yeah. Tara's got it in the bag there. Twin Twist is the single biggest threat on defense. I agree, and that's why I said that even if he's doing a bit too much damage, they still need to keep it as it is. I actually enjoy that. I enjoy having some outpost spots like that. Silverbolt's put it's just an EMP rush bot in terms of Ironhide. Yeah, I agree. Most of them are the same rush ability. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Grimlock needs a boost. Grimlock needs an overhaul. Yeah, I do. Well, I don't know. Grimlock ability 11's pretty decent. To be fair, it is. What else? Just going back up a minute. Ataris puts a 1, get the bot, meh. 2, get a G1, okay, it's better. 3, get ability level, wow, this is awesome. 4, level it. 5, know the hell out of it. That's not the case. It's almost right. It's 1, get the bot. 2, get the G1, okay, better. 3, ability 11, wow, this is awesome. 4, find out it's bugged and not doing what it should do. And then 5, bring it back to what it should. Because obviously when we test, we obviously bring it back to 3. But then something goes wrong, and that's the problem. See, because it's put a bot should be complete as it is, the G1 core should be a cherry on top. Well, then if they do that, then what's the point in getting a G1 core? People won't want them because they're like, oh, what's the point? It's not much of an increase. But that is the big chasing point. The G1 makes it a lot better. So, you know. Recently pulled 5-star hot rod. Do you have any combat suggestions? What have I got on mine? I think I've got flak on mine. And the G1. I think I've got not air. Don't put air rays on him. I just don't know why that's there. Makes it an outpost. But yeah, some sort of range combat and his G1. I think is good. Ronald Van Holland. I got a weird question. I let the space hit take back 5-star Fireline. It was my second pull in the box. Now I have Caliburst. If I pull from the box and I pull random, or let pull Fireline, random, just random again. Yeah. Dead old kid. Good to see you again. When will we see Blue Streak or Nightbeat? Well, they have said that it's going to be a year sort of G1s, a lot more G1 characters. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping for Beachcomber or Brawn. They're the two big ones for me. But anyone like Blue Streak or Nightbeat, G1 characters. I want to see more G1 characters this year. Cameron Ailey, maybe a flare next to a shock tower that stuns. Not too sure that'd work even. He might catch him for 3 seconds, but I don't know. When's the 5-star sidetrack? Well, I thought we were a bit behind. I thought sidetrack should have been out now. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that oh my god, I forgot. Nightstick and Fracas should have been out in December, if I was right. And then now it should have been Sidetrack and Growl. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So yeah, I presume the next combat that comes out, they'll put him and split the batch. I presume. Ronald Van Holland, no. Whoever's told you that is not the case. Every pull is random. It used to not be random, actually. So back in the day, there was more chance pulling warriors. Then there was more chance pulling air. Then gunners. Then specials. Then healers was the least chance. And those chances filtered into the 5-star pulls. So obviously healers were harder to get than any other. But then they've they've equaled it out. So all bots are equal in the 5-star batch, and it is completely random. So yeah. Garrett's asked, when will the Titan tech tree be expanded? I have heard a bit of news on this, and I can't really say. I'm not too sure it'll get. I think it might get expanded. I think this year, but there's gonna be something else happening in the tech tree, which could be interesting. Again, I can't say too much, but it's, if what I was told is correct, and if what I was told is happening, then it's gonna be pretty cool. It's something that I've asked for quite a bit, but it should be done in the first place. It should be done right from scratch. I'm not sure how it's gonna get done, but it'd be interesting to see, and I hope it does happen. But that's all I can say right now. Okay, cool. So, I'm wondering if the warrior rework has actually been changed in the test server, because I was using bulkhead. So there, you can see, for example, look. So boost your max health by 75% for 11 seconds. That is the idea. So you can see 75%. It's only a 4-star bulkhead at 65. So you can see 75% of that health. 3/4 is 12, is 10, 20, about 9, 18, 27k health. So all of a sudden he has 53k health. Yeah, 53k health. So you can imagine, like, you know, when likes of, you know, Ironhide get that, who have even more health than that, or 5-star pipes, then that's a lot of you know, a lot of health. So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, let's have a look at the new combat. So the new combat is Bashbreaker. So we'll have a look at him in the showroom first, actually. Where is Nor? Find Nor first. It's higher than that. I'm sure he's maxed out or close to. There we go. There is Bashbreaker. Very sort of Pokemon looking with these RID bots, robots in disguise. Not a big fan, but yeah, there is Bashbreaker, and then we can put the new bot Gabu on Galvatron. You can see him there. Pretty cool. We'll have a look in the showroom though. There he is. Pretty meh, pretty bland. Good when he obviously uses him, but yeah, pretty good. So there they are in the showroom. So let's have a look at the stats. So Bashbreaker. So every 10 seconds, launch 3 acid projectiles in a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS to enemies and negating healing for 5 seconds. It also increased the bot damage by 32%. So let's give it a go. So apologies for the test setup. Been doing a bit of testing. As you can see there, we did a bit of testing with Hound, bit of testing with Blur, and bit of testing with Bulkhead. Test all the new things coming. So let's drop We'll drop 2 healers behind him. Let's just try and keep him alive a bit by putting these things down. And we'll see the cones come out shortly. There's the cones there. You can see the cones there. So you can see acid is hitting the defenses. And obviously that causes no healing to those structures. The MDS is currently still healing. That's a bug. But they are going to fix it. So should they come out again shortly? I'm not sure where Nar's going. But there you go. And there is the effects again. Pretty cool. So we'll have another go. We'll use a Gabu this time. Put a couple of healers in there. Let's keep them alive. Have we got any good healers? See, I don't level the cottons. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, Denal Kid. He's put thank you, brother, your unwavering support in bringing Blue Streak and Night Beach Transformers Earth Wars. I've been asking that in the Transformers Earth Wars live stream for 2 years. Can you use your influence? Definitely. I've already said I want more G1, so, and the agent said that is coming, but I will do my best. I might have to drop a 14 there just to keep Galvatron alive, to show him. But yeah, most definitely. I can't promise that Night Beat and obviously Blue Streak are going to come, but I can promise you that more G1 bots coming this year because I've been told that. So definitely. But I personally want to see Brawn and Beachcomber. But I will definitely see more G1 characters this year. And there you go. There's the purple acid coming out. I think you see the health increase there, actually. No, you can't. But there you go, there's the visuals again. So, someone sort of asked in playtest, so, because it shoots acid out, can you combo it with fire? And, you know, other things? Yeah. Yeah, you can. So, it's good around the combos. So the good things about this bot. So, let's have a look at the bot again. So, what are the good things? So, the good things about his combat is that, you know, launches the 3 acid projectile which you can combo, so very good, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS. So in terms of you're talking about 500 damage without going looking, something like that. Oops. And obviously it negates healing as well, so again another good factor for 5 seconds, and obviously it increased the bot damage by 32%. So good parts. I like the fact it's acid, so you can combo it. I like that it's got high damage, and I like the fact that it gets healing, and I like the fact that it does increased 32%. So you would think Wozza thinks this bot is great. I actually don't. Sadly, I'm not really impressed with this bot at all. And the reason is that we see this every time. Increased bot damage by 32%. Increased bot damage by 32%. Or whatever it is. Increased bot damage by 32%. You know, all these sort of like, you know, combats. You know, the increased bot damage by 32%. Oh, increased bot damage by 50%. It's just too samey. It's just too similar. We're getting every single combat that comes out is a companion combat that increases bot damage by 32%. Whoopie-doo. You know, it's not impressive for me now. I don't mind that, it's good, but for me, Sawtooth and who's the other one? Sawtooth and obviously Bashbreaker. There's another one as well. I might have to go into the batch to have a look who the other one is. Oh, Windstrike, obviously. So Sawtooth. Go back a minute. So, yeah, Sawtooth, Windstrike, Bashbreaker, they're all just too similar. So, you know, they send out projectiles and increase bot damage. He sends out projectiles and increases bot damage. He sends out projectiles and increases bot damage. We need some variety. It's like they've run out of ideas. And just repeating the same idea. I mean, yes, that's acid, and yes, that's wind, and yes, that's water, and yes, we've been talked about like elemental damage. Okay, fine, but when you're negating healing and dropping acid for 5 seconds, good luck trying to combo that for 5 seconds. So it goes out, and you go, right, I'm going to use bot, and then by the time you press it, and by the time it does it, it's going to be hard to combo for 5 seconds. Very hard. So negating healing is fine, but it's more of a something that happens, where something you can rely on something you can use. You know, are you telling me that you're going to plan an attack to the nth where you go, right, I'm going to drop this bot with Bashbreaker, then in 10 seconds it's going to send out his acid, and as that happens, I'm going to use a bot to take out the MDS because it's going to get hit by acid. No, you're not going to do that. If there was a timer telling you exactly what's going to happen, you could plan that, but you're not going to count 10 seconds in a battle. So sort of when it happens, it's like, oh right, great. But you're not going to combo it. It's going to be very difficult to combo anyway. It might combo and help you in a battle, but it's not something you can really plan. And again, even if you can sort of plan that in, it's far too random. All these sort of abilities fire off in a certain direction. It's why I'm not a big fan of top heavy, and why I prefer Sport on most of my bots, and why I haven't got 5-star top heavy and haven't gone for him. Because when it does work, it's amazing. When top heavy does work, that's why I say use it on warpath. So when you're using warpath in a line to take out certain structures, top heavy will help that because it's going to go the same line, so you know where it's going. But after that, it sort of goes here, there, everywhere, all over. And it's the same for these bots. You can't control exactly where it's going. And that's why I'm not really impressed. So I'm not impressed with these projectiles that come out of combats. Stop it. Get rid of it. Stop repeating yourself. It's boring now. And don't get me wrong, if we had Windstrike 2 batches ago and Sawtooth 3 batches ago and now we've got Bashbreaker, fair enough. But we've got Sawtooth and Windstrike in the same batch now. And I'm avoiding them like the plague. I really don't want them. And those will stay at level 1 probably. They really will. And then Bashbreaker, I don't want another one of these in this batch. I don't want it where every single batch I've got projectiles. They're not really beneficial. They're alright. They're alright. They're not bad. But they're not amazing. They're not great. You can't combo them with 5 seconds. So, every 15 seconds, you can rely on that? And with this one, cause the water. How often? It doesn't even say how often it is on Sawtooth. So, not a big fan of these bots. Not a big fan at all. I like the way they're going with it, with combos and things like that. I like the way the game is going in that sense. But not for this combat. And then, if you want one more reason not to get the 5-star, but to get the 4-star, when we look at the 4-star stats, every 10 seconds, launch 3 projectiles. Every 10 seconds, launch 3 projectiles in a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's damage value. In a cone, dealing 50% of the bot's DPS to enemies, and negating healing. And negating healing for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds, the only difference between the 4-star and the 5-star is that the 5-star increases the bot's damage by 32%, and the 4-star increased it by 22%. So you get an extra 10% DPS. So you're talking between like 50 or 100 DPS depending on the bot you put it on. So the difference between the 4-star, which you can get for free in this weekend's event, and the 5-star, which you've got to save up shards for, is 10% DPS. That is the only difference. So for me, I don't want this guy as a 5-star pull. I want to avoid him like the plague. The 4-star, yeah, if I get him for free, it's alright. It's not a combat. It'll go somewhere. But I'm not driven. I won't be disappointed if when I did get trip up in the chance event. I was proper gutted. I was proper like, oh, I really wanted that combat because it was really good. If I don't get Bashbreaker's event, I'm not too fussed really. I'm not too bothered. But if I get the 5-star, I'll be pretty livid. I do not want this 5-star because it won't go anywhere in my war team. It won't replace anything. It won't do anything. I won't combo it. I don't like these projectile bots. I don't like the fact it just increases DPS. Hey, most combats increase DPS, don't they, in some way? So why is this guy any different? So pretty damning on for the 5-star. 4-star, if you get him this weekend, it'll do a job on some sort of combat if you're short. I wouldn't say it's the worst combat in the world. But if you've got a 4-star Sawtooth and you've got a 4-star Windstrike, you place it if you want. It's not going to do much difference, really. Again, it's just very samey. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what people think of it. But personally, judgment's out. Let's have a look what people put in the chat. MD Prime saying it should do damage to walls. Maybe. Chip Cox wants Brawn and Wind Charge. Yeah, Wind Charge as well. Retgar, Headmasters. Don't get me started on Headmasters. I would love Headmasters to actually work like Headmasters. That would be dream come true. I think I'd actually cry if that happened. I love headmasters. I know a lot of people don't like them, but it goes back to me for nostalgia as a kid, and there's certain bots that I had, and I had, you know, Hardhead. Loved Hardhead. Obviously loved Titans and Combiners. So anything around Combiners, or I had Beachcomber and Bumblebee and bots like that. Nostalgia still has a big part to play in this game, and you know, I love them sort of bots. I want to see them in the game. But yeah. Headmasters in the tech tree. I don't think that'd happen. I think that's to be a release, but yeah. Vixen, I'm just happy Fabian is finally fixing combiners. Fixing combiners? What is it fixing? I don't know. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know what you mean by fixing combiners. Yeah, I don't know. Penny Lancaster's but that's not a lot of difference. I want a bot with hands. Yeah, there's not much difference. Chris Harmon asked about the G1. I said earlier. I've just literally just talked about it about 10 minutes ago. I was talking to Fabian on Tuesday, hence news that announced that 10 minutes so far, so I got fixed a bit. Yeah, they made it work the base wide, the stun, but Victoria and Menasor are still the worst. The worst combiners in the game, I think. I really do think that. Teratano, I like Headmasters. I had a G1 Mind Wipe and Chrome Dome. I love Chrome Dome. I love all the Headmasters, honestly. I love Snapdragon. Obviously, I love 8-Face. My favourite con, probably, of all time. Love 8-Face. Love Chrome Dome. Love Highbrow. Love... Obviously, I've got a massive soft spot for Hardhead because I got him as a toy. Would love to see Hardhead in the game. But if he's in the game, then he's got to transform. Even Brainstormer. I love all these sort of Headmasters. I'm a massive fan. Obviously, we've got Target Masters with combats. But I still think that certain Target Masters that match up in the lore should do more. I really do. Okay, so let's talk a bit about... So, we talked about the G1... not G1, about 5-star batches. And sort of... They said a few things on stream about the 5-star batches. And they said that there's going to be an improvement to Star Saber. And when I heard that, I was like, what? Oh my god. Now... Straight away, my mind started thinking, right, what's this going to be? He's not going to get a G1 core because he's, I don't even know what, Victory is it? Will we see more Victory bots this year? And so there's going to be more Victory bots? I don't know. I can't see that. So I can't see that happening. I can't see there being sort of like Victory specific cores. Especially with the film coming out this year. I imagine there's going to be a few more things around Beast Wars and things like that. And we're saying a lot of G1 things. So I don't think it's that. I do think the big one, because I mentioned Drift instead of looking into something. I do think that Star Saber will be able to equip more combats. I think that's the big one. I think that's what they're talking about. But even if that happens, even if Star Saber is able to equip a lot more combats over the minions, I still don't think that makes him OP. And I'm fine with maybe being proven wrong, but I don't get it. And they said, yeah, well, we're worried about people doing so. But it does 3.5k damage. Pretty much maxed out. 3.5k, so 7k damage on 2 swipes. But that's costing you 27 ability points. 27. 12 plus 15 is 27. So let's say everyone is swiping and then swiping back for 27 ability points, causing 7k damage. There's no way you're doing 3. Because that will take out a good chunk of the map. But then you're talking 12 plus 15 plus 18. You're talking 45 ability points. I can't see anyone doing that. I can't see anyone gaining that amount of ability points and then doing that and taking a huge range out, doing 3 swipes. And that's what the 5-star will do. Maybe they talk about ability 11. Maybe they finally say, listen, let's give ability 11 to Star Saber. But even that, we balance that. So it's not like you can say ability 11 will make Star Saber OP. How do we know? We don't even know what ability 11 is. So we can't even say that. And let's be honest, Yanis doesn't even have a say really in there. He doesn't have a say, but he doesn't. He's not involved in the making of Build 11 and combat bots anymore now. He does the bigger projects now. Fabian deals a lot with that, and George. So 65, 11 Star Saber that can equip more combats. It's not going to break the game. It's not. It really is time for a 5-star Star Saber. And I'm glad they're sort of making him and Drift sort of be able to equip more bots. And, you know, I think that's a big part of it. They said they were on Drift, so I presume the same on Star Saber. Because their animation, they hold a sword. And Dale said in my stream when they had the interview, and they said a couple of times to me that they're building the game from the ground up. So all these things where I looked at and gone, yeah, we can't do that. We can't have multiple base designs. We're now doing it. Yeah, Star Saber and Drift, because of the swords, they can't equip other combats. Now they're looking into doing it. All these things in the past where they've gone, yeah, we can't do that. I think they've looked back and gone, we should be able to do that. And now we've got more people on the team, so they've announced that Adam's on the team now. That's a great addition to the team, a really good programmer who knows the game, knows the lore, helped the initial programmer of the game. So now with Adam on board as well, they've got more people able to do these things and build the game, rebuild the game from behind the scenes. And that's why we're seeing all these bugs. And I said to Dale that I'm fine with these new bugs that come in. I am, honestly. People will say like, that's ridiculous, Wozza. But bugs will happen. My big issue is when bugs happen and they're not fixed quickly enough. They're left for weeks and weeks, or like Trip Up. For Trip Up's a good example. He was fixed and fixed and fixed. And it's 3 months now before he got fixed. That's not fair on people that have invested in that bot and waiting for it. Skids is a good example. He was broken 5 weeks ago. I know it's been Christmas, but they should be on that. They should be on that going, right, this will be fixed by next week. Within a week, fixed. Priority, bug fixing. That needs to be the case. So bugs will happen. Fine. No problem. But get them fixed. ASAP. Within the week. Done. And you might say, oh, it's not that easy. It needs to be that easy. You can't have bugs just flying around the game, because that's when people start getting used to it. And people start getting annoyed. Like, well, this bot has done this for the last month or two. Oh, it's not really fair. Let's catch up with the chat anymore. Black Zarak skin. Well, Black Zarak's not in the game, is he? So I'd have to put him in the game first. Will we see Sound Blast this year? Chris Hammond. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Any bot releases I'm not sure of. I just know there's more G1 bots. That is it. Testano's got 8-face G1 and Siege figure. Nice. Bartash would like Pretenders, Headmasters and Power Masters. But mostly monster bots. Yeah, anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay, now let's put a bit more HP in here as well. We're going to test Laser Optimus versus Sentius. We're going to do a few tests. So, we're going to do a test without walls. We're going to do a test with walls. Because, obviously, a big part of this is that Sentius doesn't hit walls, whereas Laser Optimus does. So, we're going to do a test and see if them bots can take out this section here. I doubt they will. But we're going to give it a go. And we're going to test them, as I've said before, totally pure. So, what have we got Sentius? Max level Sentius a bit. I'm sure he's pretty much nearly max, but 65. What's Laser Optimus? Is he 65? Oh, 65. There we go. We can test them both at 65. I always get a bit nervous doing that, going, I'm not going to waste coins on that. So, we are going to put a Malg on him, because, let's be honest, that is the best core of them both. So, just Amalgamous, ability 11, level 65. Let's put him in. And then Sentius. And we'll change Amalgam over. We'll give him ability 11. I need some spark to do that. But we'll give him ability 11. Give him a minute. Brian Miller put, so in the stream they said it wasn't damage that made them equal in their mind, but that Sentius survives longer. Well, we will test that as well. So what we'll do. Put that in there. Put that in there. That's a lot of damage now. I'll put that in there. There we go. 3 beam lasers. Doesn't matter really, would it? Really? What level the cores are, but hey. Now I need some spark, don't I? Some cheap spark. 4 million spark for 1 energon. Yes, please. 1 coin. I'll take that. If only. If only it was that easy on the live server, eh? And then Sentius. Okay. We're not going to go hard mode or anything. Just going to go normal. In fact, yeah, we're going to go prime like hard. Yeah, let's see if they do survive longer. Let's see. So, I'm going to drop Sentius right at the front. So we'll use maybe a couple of abilities and see where it goes. Well, one he died. A bit too much damage. I thought it might be a bit too much putting all those beam lasers on, but hey. Some from resource building, so it's not as much damage. I want to at least get 2 abilities off. Oh, right, I didn't get Sentius at burst 11. Thanks for the heads up. Cool, there we go. Thanks for the heads up, that would have been a bit unfair, wouldn't it? Grant, look at those resources, you hacker. Okay, we're going to drop him a bit more further back then. Drop him right there on the launch pad there. So 2 abilities. And 2 buildings left over. 2 abilities and 2/3 health, pretty much 3/4 maybe. So let's see Sentius in the same predicament. And we can maybe up the ante a bit and then really see it. Hey, we could be wrong, but we'll wait and see. Again, giving him a Malg. Do I think a Malg is better for Laser Optimus? We'll talk about that in a minute after this test. And which I prefer. I'm not sure if Sentius got the same range, but we'll see. So Sentius, same place. So yeah, pretty much same range. So you can see there, Sentius, similar health, nowhere near the same damage. So yes, he will gain a bit more health if it was a 5-star, but I think it'd be quite similar to Laser Optimus. I really do. But now the big one is when we put walls in the way. Take that wall out of there. Put that over there like that. There we go. That's enough wall. Just 1 layer of wall to do. We could do more. Leave it this for now. Auto fill 10 Sentius against 4-star laser odds. That's not the question. The question is that I have said that Sentius should be a 5-star. That's what I've said. And they've said no because he's too powerful. And I'm saying that he's not as strong as Laser Optimus. So, if you got the 5-star bump, it'd be as powerful as Laser Optimus. They're saying right now, he's probably on par with 5-star Laser Optimus. That's what they're saying. It'd be too OP. But that's not the case. So, Sentius again. To get in range. So, Sentius is firing over the wall. You can see there. So it's just took just over 4 structures out there. Just over 4 structures and at half health. Okay. Let's see if walls make a difference. Where is it? There it is. But I think they worry too much about the damage because Sentius should do more raw damage. No, he doesn't. He doesn't do more raw damage. And then we'll do Laser Optimus. Even with the walls. And you can see there, look. He's still done more damage than Sentius. Still. So, I can see, I can understand the, you know, the argument of the 4-star. So we'll level the 4-star. It might take a while though. What level is that? Let's try 4-star Laser Optimus then. Let's settle the argument once and for all. So, if Laser Optimus does the same or more than Sentius, then there's no argument because that's what Sentius does already. If Laser Optimus does less as a 4-star, then the 8's kind of got a point. Because Sentius will do more than Laser Optimus. Find him. Oh, there he is. Oh, that's handy. He's already at 65. What are the chances? So, 4-star Laser Optimus. Got ability 11. Amalgamus. There we go. Very, very fair battle.
Optimus Prime. Abilities ready.
Come on then. There we go. Let's try 3 abilities and see if we can take it all out with 3, and then we'll try with Sentius 3 abilities. Seeing to get all out with 3. So, Laser Optimus can almost take out the entire section with 3 abilities.
Autobots, retreat.
So, can Sentius take that whole section out in 3 abilities?
Autobot,
If he does, then he's more powerful than Laser Optimus. If he does the same or less,
roll now.
then why not?
Abilities ready. Abilities ready.
I'll even let him get his bow off.
Abilities ready.
So there you go. It's pretty much showing there that Sentius does less damage than Laser Optimus. Does he survive? Slightly more. I wouldn't say he's huge in terms of like the difference. Doesn't stay at full health constantly. So I don't understand the ape sort of argument that he shouldn't be a 5-star. I think that's pretty much shown in the game that he's exactly the same as Laser Optimus pretty much. If not quite less powerful. So if Laser Optimus is quite a bit less powerful, and Laser Optimus is already or slightly more powerful, say, and he's already a 5-star, and yeah, I do think that Laser Optimus is a massively powerful bot. That doesn't mean that it can be a 5-star Sentius. I don't understand that. You know, maybe having the 2 of them together is dangerous. Maybe that's the reason. But that's not what they said in the stream. They said that, you know, Sentius could survive more, which I don't understand more. But there you have it. Laser Optimus is slightly more powerful than Sentius. Excuse me. Laser Optimus is slightly more powerful than Sentius. Survivability, not much different. So, yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for a 5-star Sentius. Why not? Yeah. Okay. Now that's been cleared up.
Autobots, retreat.
What else? So I mentioned earlier, I want to talk about a new bot that could come into the meta. So I'll go through the team I'm sort of showing recently. Hold my visual account, main account. Bear with me when I load it up. It does take a few seconds. Calvin, what we really need is a Sentius Magnus or Malus Hasbro figure. I don't think we'll ever see that, sadly. That could be interesting, but I don't think we'll ever see that, sadly. Okay. So, I will show you my team. So, that's generally my team that I'm running right now. So, 2 tank, 4 gunners, 2 healers. Now, I'll get through the base alright. There's a good like 30 seconds left. But as the defenses start to upgrade, it's going to get harder and harder. Once people start upgrading their combiners to level 25, it's going to get harder and harder. Once people start doing time traps, it's going to get harder and harder. So, I thought to myself, how can I get more DPS in this team? And so, the big answer is going to 1 healer. But that worries me, because obviously the damage is going to get increased as well. So I thought, I don't mind the fact going to 1 healer. But I need another option of healing. And so I mentioned one earlier, which was Hoist. And I think Hoist is a good option. So if we look at Hoist, So Hoist is good in terms of health. So he gives them, it's about 500 health, I think, at max for 10 seconds. So it's about 5k healing for 5 plus 3. So for 5 ability points, it gives you 5k health. But it also makes your bot 8% faster, so that's a good speed up. A bit like Wheeljack. But I think it's a better option. I think there's a better option than Hoist. This guy's a bit of a sleeping giant, really. And he has for a while, and I've been pondering on this guy for a long time and thought, why do I not like this bot? Why is this bot not my war team? I've tried it a few times and gone, it just doesn't work. I think it's just too expensive. And recently, it's had a massive cost reduction. And I think this went under the radar a bit. And people were looking at other cost reductions and going, yay, that bot and this bot. And people didn't really think about this bot, really. And that is Sandstorm. Because it's had a cost reduction to 3 plus 2 for supply airdrop and toxic rush. So for 3 ability points, he'll do 4.5k healing. So that's already similar to what Hoist will do. But the difference with this is, for 6 ability points, he'll do another 4.5k. So for 6 ability points, you're getting 9k healing. That can take your bots from the brink. Now, if you don't want to use them both at once, don't want to combo it, then you can use just that once. And then for 5 ability points, you can use it again. So even for 8 ability points, that's still 9k healing for 8 ability points. Oh, and yes, I know Hoist is a 4-star before we start saying that. But that's at around, like I said, 5k, but it's 5 plus 3, so that's 8. So that's 13 ability points. So 13 ability points for 10k. Or 9.5k thereabouts. And Sandstorm is just 8. And I think that is absolutely incredible. And I think this is the guy that's going to be in my war team more. And now you've got a Toxic Rush, which is considered acid. Then that combos even more with fire. And increases damage done. So I'm thinking that this guy's had 2 buffs in close proximity. The acid buff, so the Toxic Rush is now acid, and the cost reduction. I think this guy's going to be an absolute monster. And then because you've got an extra bot in there rather than healing, you've got that extra DPS. And I'm going to test this guy in the test server and see how good he is. Because with Minerva's Tower doing 685 health, you know, in an area of 5 plus 5, once you get to 2 uses at 10 ability points, use Sandstorm instead, mixture of the 2, having that extra DPS, you know, having maybe a trip up in the team as well to increase your DPS. Big fan of trip up at the minute. I think it could be a really viable option. I think it could be an absolutely amazing bot. And again, you know, people are saying about Hoist as a 5-star. We want Hoist as a 5-star. Well, we've already got this guy. We've already got Sandstorm in the game. And a triple changer as well. Honestly, guys, this guy could be a monster. I really do. And I'm so happy that, you know, Fabian has sort of made these changes to this bot. I said just a cost reduction to the Toxic Rush, not the healing. But it's done both. And I'm quite pleased with the changes. And I think this bot could be hugely better in the meta. I really do. So it's a bit to be seen. But, you know, with 21k health and 700 DPS, you know, you're talking the same as, I think it's more than Gunners. So, yeah, same DPS as a Gunner, but more health. And Jetfire. So, yeah, slightly less DPS, but, you know, Hot Rod, more health than Hot Rod at 21k. You know, bit less than Red Alert. I'm trying to find a bot that sort of compares at 21k health. That's only 57. But you get the idea where I'm going. More HP than Trax, more DPS. I think it'd be a really good option. I really do, and I'm going to really test this guy. And adding Trench Foot, because it's acid in an area. Adding Trench Foot that does, you know, extra damage to fire, acid, EMP, or speed reduction. You know, do I go for 5-star Trench Foot? do I take the dive? You know, I always said that, you know, I'll never go for trench foot. But with Sandstorm, I might. You know, got plenty of pulls. Trench foot is in batch 2, is it? Yeah. I think trench foot might be a viable option. I still want some good combats, waiting for them to split this up, and I want nice stick, and I want trip up, definitely. But yeah, if I pull twice on that batch, and I get those two, I get nightstick when they split the batches, nightstick and trip up. I might actually go back and go for trench foot on Sandstorm. I think it'd be a really good combo. You're getting the extra DPS, you get through bases faster, you're getting the healing, you're getting the acid to combo. I mean, every sort of part of him is sort of screaming, this bot is going to be massively useful in the meta. Acid, healing, DPS, more HP. I can't wait to try him out in my teams. I'm going to try some Untrapped Wars and try one healer with Sandstorm and sort of see how it goes. And I know some people talk about split walks, things like that, and it's interesting. Hopefully there could be some new tactics in the game, you know, and some new meta bots, you know, and I'm hoping that the apes will do this to more bots, maybe give them a cost decrease and make them more viable so that they bring them out, you know, back into the meta again and out from obscurity. That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, super impressed with the change to Sandstorm and looking forward to trying him out in some top level wars. And I will keep you guys updated on how that goes. And yeah, excited because I've had this guy for ages. I've had this guy for absolutely ages. Leveled him up, thinking he'd be good, and never quite been there. Never quite hit the meta. But excited to see what he does now. Excited to see how he goes. So yeah. Anthony Shimper's put, is one healer a thing in Prime? I think a lot of people run 2, but everyone is trying to go to 1. Because they understand that they need more DPS in their team. Now, if you could run 2 healers and have a lot more DPS, maybe you have 5-star and 4-star trip up in there. They don't stack, but when they do split, you'll have them both. So maybe you don't want to go the same way, obviously, because they don't stack. But people try to work out ways to have more DPS in their team without losing a healer. And that is the conundrum. That is the equation you got to try and work out. So if you can work that out, then go to 1 healer. Stay plus, but he runs 1 healer in PL, no problem getting 300s. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying it's not doable. I know a lot of people hate these people out there that use none. But I think 1 healer is the way to go. But obviously when you've used 2, it's a bit of a safety net. I've tried 1 a few times and it's worked alright. But I see some replays and I see people losing bots. And I never really lose a bot. If I lose 1 bot, it's a surprise. And that's because of the extra healing. So, you know, that's the plan, is to try and go down to 1 healer. Matt Poley, I run no healers in Prime. Can't see at 300. Yeah, that's the difference though. You've got to drop to 1 healer and still 300. That's the obviously the big one. That's the way. And lastly, so I know people are struggling for alloy, and you know, I wanted to sort of like, you know, give people sort of a bit of advice on how we can sort of get ally a bit more. And I've talked about it in the past, but I know I've got a lot of new viewers and things like that. And I've gone I've gone back to skank raids. And now people will call these different things, but I call them skank raids because it is a bit skanky. And it's plain and simple. It is going to any zone, taking certain bots. So I try not to take war bots. So let's take Jetfire out of there, Sea Spray. Put other bots in there. So let's not put 6 gun in there either. We put Skyleaks in there, and who else? We could put normal Jetfire in. Yeah. So try and take non-war bots, so it doesn't interfere with war bots or in your wars or anything like that. So 50 fuel cells. So all I will do is I will take it into battle. And I do take a combiner sometimes. I'm in the middle of a war, so I'm a bit low on ore 13, so I won't activate a combiner. But a combiner does work a lot better because you can drop your combiner and then do what we're going to do, and we'll show you that anyway. So we'll let you go in prime zone. Now, if you like your medals, this is not for you. But what do medals give you? Nothing. So what is the point? So skank raids are the way to go. Oh, so we've got some nice, easy resources at the front here. So we can pick a bot that doesn't have much range. So we can make a big prowl there. So this is what I would do with a combiner. So you can try a combiner. And obviously that stops you wasting any bots. So you can still do whatever you want to do with your bots. So I'm going to take out the resource buildings. So prowl. Where's the other resource building? I hate this, the only bit I hate. So right on the side of the map. So we're literally going to let prowl just die now. We'll take that out. We want that. So I don't need the energy on as much, but I do need the ally for walls. So there you go. Now prowl is dead. So literally all we're going to do is fast forward. Again, we're not trying to win. All we're doing is going for that sweet, sweet ally. That's all we're doing. Let's fast forward again. There we go. And even that 14k, because they're all clustered up here, we can get one more, I think, out of this. And this is so much easier. So Titans down, we leave. 1.2 million ally. I will take it. And then we do the exact same again. I see quite a few top players doing this. I don't think like, oh, like top players aren't doing this. This is the way the top players are going to max out their walls super, super quick. Again, prime zone. We're going again. Let's see what we get this time. It's pretty much a million minimum. So there we go. 2.2 million. So no resources up front. So we got one there. We got one on the opposite side. And we got one at the back there. So what we can do is we could drop Silverbot there. We can hit it with Silverbot there. Hit Silverbot there. In there again. My Silverbot can't quite take him out, so we're gonna hit out again. There we go. Now take it out. And like I said, you can do this to combine it if you don't want to use your bots. You can do it with your bots. It doesn't matter either way. Get every last bit, we might as well. 14k. Have you got any resource buildings close by? It's 2 there at the bottom. So our last one, I think. We might have to even win this and have to get a bit more. Where's the last resource building? Where is it? Where is it? Where's that 5k? There it is. There we go. Retreat. We lose a medal, but we got 2.2. Now you can work the odds that if you're getting 1 million per battle and 2.2 million sometimes, you do this not about 8 times, to be fair. But you do this 10 times, and you'll quickly have enough ally to do 1 wall piece. And you might think, oh, that for 1 wall piece. But if you do that 4 times a day, that's 4 wall pieces a day. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Next day, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next day, 1, 2, 3, 4. Within 4 days, 3 days, I have maxed my walls out. Just doing that 3 or 4 times a day. And yes, you will lose a lot of medals. You're going to lose 40 medals a day. Times by 3 days, 120 medals. You will lose that. But your walls will be completely maxed. And then you can utilize all 5 build bots. Because don't forget, right now, I'm only utilizing 4 build bots and 1 for walls. So if I can smash these walls out within a week, get them done, I can then upgrade 5 things at a time, and I don't have to worry about my walls. They are done. And don't forget, they're not getting another upgrade. That's it, they're done. My HQ18 walls are complete. And they're going to be a big part of HQ18. I can see a lot of people going towards time traps. I really can. and Calvin's put 27 mil in one day. You can get 60 mil in one day. Easily. I can get 15 mil per run. I can get 60 million alloy in one day. Very easily. I've done that. I've literally done all these wall pieces in the last 2 days. So all this bottom section was not done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 6 in the last 2 days. I've not even hit it that hard. To give you an idea, I've done it 3 times a day, and I've also done some battles to get some medals back, and I've also done some war battles and stuff, because I still need to do my tech tree, so I've had to do some battles to win. So you can see there that I've not been hard at it, and I've still completed 6 war pieces in 2 days. So it's a very, very easy method to max your walls out. Like I said, we got what, 3.5 mil from 2 battles. So yeah, 10 by 5, so 10 battles, there's your 15 mil. So keep all your resources, ally resources in inventory, because I found that when it comes around to all these finishing in 14 days, they'll all finish at the same time. So you're going to need 15, 30, 45, I'm going to need 60 mil alloy just to upgrade your 4 defenses that are upgrading. When it comes to 5, you'll need 75 mil. So save those inventories now. Start saving them from events. So that's 60 mil. Consider saving that rather than doing your walls if you want. But yeah, save it for your upgrades and then do these scank raids. Get all your walls finished very, very easily. But you know what? Even if you need them for 1 defense, even if you think, oh my god, I've only got 2 build bots working, do 1 big run. And when you get the 75 cells from the battle pass, it's even easier. But do 1 big run, max it out, and then go and do a wall or go and do your defenses to make sure your build bots are getting utilized. It's a very easy way to get alloy, guys, honestly. Do you think Sea Phantom or World should get a 5-star? They need a rework first. Definitely. Matt Paul's walls are done. Nice. In zone 15, ouch. Lord Avix did it. Yeah, listen, don't be afraid of saying it. Listen, I've done it. I'm still hurting on Zed. Yeah, listen, I'm low as well. I've got to do my Zen farm this week after the stream, actually. So yeah, that's the plan. But I'll do that 300k in a heartbeat tonight, and before in the morning maybe for the event, maybe I don't know. But I have got 2 weeks. You know, I'm gonna do some wall upgrades, so I can do a bit. But I've got 2 weeks, you know, to get some Zen in. So yeah. Matt Paul, I dipped below 100k Zen for the first time since Zen came to the game. Yeah, same. I've been maxing Zen and getting XP. I've actually used all my XP. So I used all my XP on Hot Rod. So I took Hot Rod to 63. I took Minerva up to, is it 63 as well? Yeah, she's close now. And I also took Dynabot up to, no I didn't. What else did I do? Oh, a 6 gun up to level 65. So yeah, I took 6 gun from 63 to 65. Hot Rod from 61 to 63. And Minerva from late 62 to late 63. All with overflowed Zen. XP bought with it. So yeah. That Magnaboss really helps those time trap walls though. It's a good choice. Yeah, I like Magnaboss for Zen farming. The best Zen farming bot, even more than Omega, I'd say. Massively huge. Testing out Skyrim in a minute. He's alright, he's not bad. He's pretty not as good as a Magnaboss, I don't think. But yeah, good. Okay, cool. Okay, it is that time. We are going to do the gift card giveaway. So as always, we've got a random number generator. So you can see there 1 to 18. So the 18 people, I've got them written down actually somewhere. I had them and then the book's actually closed on me, so apologies, I've got to find it now. Okay, so the 18 people, these are my platinum members as of today. So if you have become a platinum member during the stream, I don't think anyone has, but apologies, you'll be in the draw, but you will be in for the next one. But this is the 18 members in the draw. So We have number 1, Buffeters. Number 2, Kill Cannon. Number 3, Chris Harmon. Number 4, Freezes Max. Number 5, Generic. Number 6, Grumador. Number 7, Dojak. Number 8, Righteous. Number 9, Tex. Number 10, Andy Swales. Number 11, Fogs the Bomb. Number 12, Windblade. Number 13, Penny Lancaster. Number 14, Chris Lewis. Number 15, Stay Puffed. Number 16, Atari. Number 17, The Dude. And number 18, last but not least, is Grind Time. So, you know what? Rather than do it like this, I'm actually going to get a visual thing up next time. But get it better planned. Have it on the screen. Have the number generator on the screen so you can see both. So there's no thingy. But yeah, just go through it in a quick. So I don't get accused of cheating or anything. Number 1, Buffeters. Number 2, Kill Cannon. Number 3, Chris Harmon. Number 4, Freezes Max. Number 5, Generic. Number 5, Grim the Door. Number 5, Generic. Number 6, Grim the Door. Number 7, Dojak. Number 8, Righteous. Number 9, Tex. Number 10, Andy Swales. Number 11, Fox to Bomb. Number 12, Windblade. 13, Penny Lancaster. 14, Chris Lewis. 15, Stay Puft. 16, Atari. 17, The Dude. 18, Grind Time. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that is the list there with the stream notes in my Space 8 book that I got from them when I went to visit them. There you go. Okay, good luck, everyone, and let's see. So the first one is Chris Harmon. Congratulations, you have won a $25 gift card. And the next one is Chris Lewis. So the two Chris's, Chris Harmon and Chris Lewis. Congratulations on winning the $25 gift card. I'm not too sure if he won before. Has Chris Lewis won before? I think Chris Harmon has won before, actually. I'm not too sure if Chris Lewis has. But congrats. But if you hit me up on Discord, just saying hi, Wozza. I know you two guys anyway. I talk to you guys quite regular here and there. So if you two guys hit me up on Discord and just say, hey, I'm here for my gift card, and then we will go from there. I just need a couple of things from you. So, yeah, Chris Lewis won before. Have you won before, Chris Harmon? I think he has, actually. So, yeah. Both won twice, so yeah. But to be fair, they've been members for quite a while. Chris Lewis especially been a member since the start, I think. So it's been quite a long time. So yeah, congratulations, guys, and yeah, $25 gift card in your bank for this weekend. So put it to good use. But yeah, listen, if you want to be in with a shout, guys, at this gift card, just 2 more members. Once we get to 20, I'll be giving 3 of these away. So I did ask people, do you want a $75 gift card to one person or 325? I think people said they wanted 25, so we're going to try that for a bit and see how it goes. But once I get to 20 members, I will do a $75 gift card split 3 ways. But only if I get to 20 members. We're at 18, just need 2 more members. I think a couple of streams, about 4-6 months ago, I got to 20 members, and then literally as the stream started, someone decided they didn't want to be a member anymore. I dropped to 19. It was like, no. But yeah, it needs to be 20 members from the date that I do the stream or the day before. Whenever I sort of pick the numbers for that stream, it's 20. But hey, listen, same goes. If it's 20 to the day before the stream, and I pick 20, and then I got to 19 2 days later, then hey, tough luck. You know, I said when I get to 20, I'll do $25 times 3. So, congratulations again to Chris Lewis. Congratulations again to Chris Harmon. Unlucky again, Grind Time. But I do want to say a lot of love and best wishes to Grind Time. But yeah, I don't want to go into too much, but he's got a bit of a rough time at the minute. So, a lot of love, and I hope he's alright going his way. But yeah, so back to streaming, guys. Every Monday, every Thursday. Back on the grind. There's only one way to never miss another stream, and that is subscribe. Dead simple. Again, people still think that you know, that subscribing costs anything. It doesn't, guys. Being a member, subscribing, totally different. Subscribing just tells you when I'm live. That is all it does, and adds to my numbers. So I'm trying to get to 5k. Let's try and push to 5k now, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Never miss another stream. Never miss another video. We've still got plenty of the interview that I've sort of split up and spliced coming this next month or so. We've still got the unpopular opinion series coming out. We're going to have a chat with Tex. We're going to do some reviews on old content and see on reviewing it again. So there's some bots that we said were applicable to HQ18. Want to wait till all of HQ18 is sort of out, or most of it. So that'll be coming midway through the year. Looking back at the best bots 2022 and doing the best bots for 2023 again when HQ18 has come back in. So Tex will probably be on the channel again in the next few months. Probably do some more unpopular opinions with freezes and hopefully grind time and Tex. So loads coming again this year, guys. So a big thank you to all you guys for subscribing, being members, watching. Thank you, much love. Thank you for being there. And here's 2023. And I will see you on Monday. See you next Thursday at the usual time. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.